Being live streamed.
Yes.
About to be recorded too. Watch this.
Go, Elliot.
That's an introduction of the Sunday Night Sports Nerd Show. It is the most absurd 90 minutes of anything goes, smack talk, and a whole lot more. Every Sunday night, the Sports Nerd joins forces with his maniac co-hosts, whom are a select group of sports nerds with attitude that are known in the Nerd Nation as the Red Pack. These are four of the most foul-mouthed, shit-talking nerds, spitting some sick rips and rants, just enough to make you piss your pants. So listen up, Nerd Nation. Rise and welcome the legend himself. He is the founder, he is the host, and he is the star of the Sports Nerd Show. Coming to you live, straight out of Lakeland, Florida, Scott, the Sports Nerd, right.
Thank you, Elliot. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Sports Nerds. I am the Sports Nerd, Scott Wright, and joining me, as usual, are my co-host, Mr. John G. Olson, Elliot Big E Lamba, who is here, but you just can't see him, and of course, Ken Casso. For the next 90 minutes, we'll be talking the week in sports, and I promise you, we won't always agree, and I promise there will be smack talk at some point during the show. Here we go, off and running, gentlemen. How we doing this week? Are we happy that football is back?
Just grand.
Fantabulous.
Fantabulous.
I've waited all year long for preseason football.
Isn't that depressing? Like, it's literally exciting this is the first time I've been excited for preseason in a while.
Hey, Brett, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Good to see you.
Hi, bro.
Unfortunately, I can't say the same. I'm still not excited about preseason.
Yes, I'm excited about preseason football. I can't help myself. I've got to. I am excited, only because I'm excited about the upcoming season. Hopefully, will be good for me.
Here we go. Hopefully, it'll be the Browns and just the Cleveland this and Cleveland that. And
Hey, if John talks Buffalo and Toronto,
we need to change this to the Cleveland. Hey, we need to change this to the Cleveland Nerd Show.
Now, come on, now, John bemoans and then he blots out and goes off on Toronto and Buffalo.
The Sports Browns.
Shut up.
Well, Buffalo actually has like a winning team now.
Oh.
Well, that could have been said for Cleveland too.
Well, but you know what? They got beat by the same team the Browns did this past season. So yeah, we can go there. Oh, shut up.
I'll get excited in week 3 or 4 of the preseason.
Okay, what? You'll be excited once the regular season starts next month. Is that what you're saying?
Actually, I'll get excited close to regular season when fantasy drafts start.
Brett,
Gotcha.
does it really excite you that you have the same initials that Baker Mayfield has?
Wow. Ouch.
Who?
Yeah, Brett does.
Oh, Brett Murphy? Yeah.
Yes, Brett has the same
Baker Mayfield.
initials.
Baker Murphy.
Baker Murphy.
Same
Brett Mayfield.
same initials as a bodily function too.
funny.
Brett don't want that name. I have to call him Mayflower. Yeah.
Right?
Well,
So
a needle pulling thread.
What's that?
He said so, and I said a needle pulling thread.
All right, so let's. Did you guys watch any preseason games over the weekend at all? I mean,
I sure did, buddy.
Did you watch the Buffalo game?
Of course.
There you go.
Like,
I did watch a game between the Cowboys and the Cardinals. If you want to call it a game.
Did the Cowboys score?
They score.
They finally did.
Well, they only got 3 points the last game.
They actually scored 16 points this time. Yes.
nice.
Hey, I was excited. I was excited with Trey Lance, dude.
That 80-yard pass was nice, wasn't it, Elliot?
Yeah. That boy's got skills. I hear Justin Fields was lighting it up too.
Yes, he was. Justin Fields was lighting it up. He had a really good game against the Dolphins. In fact, Justin Fields, he was the one I was looking at this weekend.
All of a sudden, isn't Andy Dalton looking like the redheaded stepchild again?
Oh, stop it. Dang it. Hang on a second. There we go. Andy Dalton looking like what? The redheaded stepchild?
He's got the hair for it.
Right?
Kind of looked Raggedy Andy.
The
Guys.
Polish, what do we call it?
Please no Andy Dalton slander, please.
Justin Fields was 14 of 20.
I know he's
for
your
100
hero from a few years ago when you guys could make the playoffs on your
Yes.
own.
Justin Fields was 14 of 20. 14 of 20 for 142 yards and a touchdown. That's how good he was.
Who?
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields, yeah.
Yes.
Justin Fields.
Yeah. Whatchamacallit did pretty good too. Jalen Hurts, I think.
And for Philly?
Yeah. I think you know what? You look at there's gonna be a lot of good quarterbacks this year.
Yes, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
A lot.
Jalen Hurts. 3 of 7 for 54 yards. That's,
I mean, that's just the card, but I'm just saying.
yeah, limited playing time, but yeah.
Look, you got Jalen Hurts, you got Trey Lance, you got Justin Fields, you got Kyler Murray.
Yep.
You got these guys that run around like gazelles, man.
Right. Kind of like I did when I was 16 or 17 years old. What are they doing in their 20s?
Mayfield kind of does it a little bit when his white ass feels up to it, but it's just the quarterbacks are getting so much better, and then you got your gunslingers like Josh Allen and
Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, hi, Nosy.
Hey, Nosy.
Oh, man.
I can't forget Patrick Mahomes.
Looks
Even
like
though I
Flacco played the most. He was 10 of 17 for 178 for the Eagles.
Dude, Zach Wilson's getting all kinds of hate up in there. Up in the media, man.
Oh, Cowherd started it with his.
Cowherd's a bitch.
Yeah. And the only reason I put it on the rundown about what Cowherd said is because of Derek's answer and response in our group page. Because he had a very long and I tried on comment.
Derek has his opinions, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, and you know what? Derek is not so much about comparing him to Johnny Manziel as he is just because he was drafted by the Jets as well. He's going to be bad. That was pretty much his consensus. And he actually put a nice long list of players that have been drafted by the Jets.
Drafted by the Jets. All quarterbacks, too.
All quarterbacks that were drafted. And I'm trying to find the darn thing. Where'd it
Come
go?
on, listen up.
Yeah.
Since Joe Namath, which was basically kind of a flash in the pan, so to speak.
Yeah, well, he only went back to 1978, basically.
Well, I'm just saying, but here's the epitome of what the New York Jets draft has been all about throughout all these years. They took Ken O'Brien ahead of Dan Marino.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
That ought to tell you everything.
Right.
About what the Jets are all about.
Yeah, well, you know what? I don't agree with the comparison that Cowherd made between Johnny Manziel, him being, Zach. Zach.
Dude, Johnny Manziel was a drunk ass loser, fucking running around. All he wanted to do is party and be on social media.
Yeah, well, Cowherd used the analogy of coming as being cocky and coming from money. Well, he's not. I have not seen him be cocky yet. I've seen him.
Oh, you know what? Mm-hmm. Colin Cowherd has the nerve to talk about cocky.
Yeah, I know, right?
Okay.
Hello. Kettle meat pot.
Yeah, power of pot meat kettle. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Hi, Eliana.
Hi, Eliana.
Because that dude is like the worst.
Yes. Yes. He's all mouth and no substance, basically.
Nope. He's a shock. He's like a shock jock. He's like a Howard Stern. You know what I mean?
One of the Howard. Yeah, he's like a Howard Stern of the sports world, right?
He does it for shock effect.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just his brand.
Does it for ratings.
But he's got the perfect name. He is a fucking coward.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, because I don't see him running up to nobody talking that shit to their face.
Right. Okay. I agree.
He ain't standing in no locker rooms talking shit. So he needs to step his ass off.
Well, he's not as stupid as what his name was when he went after Jim Everett.
Jim Rome.
Jim Rome.
Jim Rome.
They called him Chris. Kept calling him Chris.
and Everett smacked him on live TV. Smacked him across the freaking head in live TV.
Yep, knocked him out. And that was the end of that show.
That was funny though. That was pretty freaking hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah, so Kenny, I'm looking at the Cowboys and the Cardinals. Cooper Rush, Garrett Gilbert, and Ben DiNucci.
Mo, Larry, and Curly.
God help Dak Prescott. Hopefully he stays healthy the entire season.
Shit. If anything happens to him this year, we are dead.
Yeah, you didn't do very well with Dalton last year either, but you were better off with Dalton than
We're
one of
off,
these three.
I've not been impressed with just about anybody I've seen.
DiNucci had the only touchdown pass yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
See, the only reason I don't get excited the first couple of weeks is because they don't really play the frontline players. You know what I'm saying?
No,
they don't.
They play them in week 3.
Yeah, week 3 is historically the week they play the starters.
Well,
right.
let's be honest. Unless you're Detroit, Detroit played all their starters, and we beat them with like our 4th string guys. But it is Detroit. Hi, Nosy. How you doing?
Which is nothing to write home about, actually. But you know,
no, I mean it's preseason. I enjoyed a lot of the different matchups in that game. Like the Penei Sewell, he's going to be a perennial all-star. He's going to be the greatest, offensive lineman in the history of this game. He's going to be going to the Hall of Fame. He was 7th overall. Then we have this guy, Gregory Rousseau, who was picked, I think, 28th to 29th or something overall. Went past this guy like just like wet paper. Just pushed him aside. Like, just get away from me, and went and got the sack. Yeah. Second play of the game, too. That's Goff almost threw an interception on the first possession, first throw of the game. And then the second, their big, huge offensive lineman that is going to be this just got brushed aside like nothing. And that was exciting.
Goff was 7 of 9 for 56 yards against that fourth string defense, by the way. Brett asked the question, do we care about poor Lamar Miller anymore?
I didn't care about Lamar Miller 5 years ago.
I didn't know Lamar Miller was still alive.
Yeah, we're still in the league. Yeah. So
dude, that guy, like, wasn't he the guy who took over from Arian Foster? And like everyone was like, he was going to be the thing, and it like never.
They hyped him all up when he was coming from Miami.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But he really wasn't all that.
Yeah.
Lamar Miller was, I mean, come on. He was a mid-round running back, basically.
Right.
Now he's a late-round running back. You might not even draft that moment. You can't now. He's not in the NFL anymore.
Your boy Mitchell went 1 for 2 for 10 yards, John. How long did he play?
I think the first series, that was it.
Really?
Yeah, or maybe the first quarter. They might have had 2 possessions. They gave the ball. It was the Devin Singletary show.
I saw
for that first quarter, man.
Yeah.
He was doing some big stuff.
He had 8 carries, 42 yards, and he averaged 5.3 yards a carry.
Yeah. Devin looked really good.
Is he going to be the lead, or is it going to be Zach Moss?
I think it'll still be Zach, but I think Devin is. I think it's going to be a 2-headed monster. I think Devin looked a lot quicker than he has in the past. So, like Zach is that ground and pound type back.
Yeah.
Devin is more the
finesse.
I'm not going to say the shady McCoy, but that's kind of what they're,
the finesse runner.
The shake and bake kind of guy, right? But he doesn't have that breakaway speed. That was the knock against him, but he looked really good, man. Really good this game. So I mean, it's preseason. I mean, you can't really.
And Davis Webb had a good. It was like Davis Webb had a good game, 11-16 for 90 yards. Is it your number 2? Is Davis Webb your number 2?
No, number 2 will be Trubisky.
Will it really?
Yeah. Who's Josh is number 1. QB2 will be Trubisky.
But you got Jake Fromm in there too now.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll probably Jake will probably be practice squad, and then Davis will be
cut
third.
They're going to keep 3 because going to keep 3 on the roster.
Who knows? I mean, yeah.
Too early to tell, man. Too early to tell. Yeah. That's why I say first 2 weeks of preseason is like, forget that shit.
I mean, no one on the Bills offense was playing other than Devin.
You got to wait for the second round cuts. You know what I'm saying? That's when.
Well, teams have already started making their first round cuts.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of the guys that you see that might have did something special might not be there next week.
Go ahead, man. Sorry.
One player of note that got cut today had made national news. Is the Navy guy that got his service deferred so he can play in the NFL. The Bucs cut him today. That kid that graduated from the Naval Academy, and he wanted deferment from his military service.
Yeah, I remember the story, but you see, that's just it. He wasn't memorable enough for me to remember.
But he wasn't drafted. He was an undrafted rookie. So I mean, yeah,
it's a legit story.
Yeah,
but I don't remember who he was.
Right.
I remember the story, just not who he was.
Yeah. And Lamar Miller is the only one of significance that got.
He's not significant,
and he's not really that significant.
Take that all away.
Yeah.
He was probably given a shot to try to revive his career, and he just couldn't cut it.
Yeah. So in San Francisco, go ahead. What, Ken?
I was reacting to what Barrett said. I was watching a little bit of that game last night, but that must have happened after I turned it off because I did not see that.
There was some kind of brawl in the Rams at the Rams stadium yesterday. I didn't watch any of the videos. I just heard it was just a huge brawl.
Who'd they play?
Chargers.
The Rams and the Chargers. So the two LA teams, because they've had such a long storied rivalry.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I'd understand if it was, the Niners or something. That's usually when it starts getting
But
crazy.
you know what? I look at it this way. I look at them as two dogs trying to mark their territory.
It's a really good way of putting it.
Oh, and he posts from the New York, and Brett
because
posts the link to the New York Post.
They both came in from other cities. Okay, at the same time.
Right.
Okay, so they're new dogs in a new yard, and they're trying to establish their territory. And that's what's going to happen.
Lakers and Clippers.
Right.
Especially with the fans, especially when the fans get involved.
Look at this guy. Look at this.
This is LA, dude. It's all about fighting. And
look at this tough guy. They're both Rams fans. Like,
yeah.
He's not even like, what does he do? Like, this is hilarious. What an idiot. Like, look at these clowns. This guy's punching his bum. Like, what are you doing?
Plus, now they're playing in front of fans, too.
Mm-hmm.
First time in that stadium that there's fans in the seats.
I think that this looks staged, man. This looks like a wrestling fight. There.
They're trying, yeah.
Dude. Guys, John and jacking around. What the hell? Oh.
Next thing Vince McMahon shows up.
Oh,
look at this.
He signs them to a wrestling contract.
Yeah, dude. These guys. Like, I can't. I just wasted a minute of my life watching.
Oh my God.
That's embarrassing, dude. Like, that guy's all like trying to be tough, and then these guys like.
What do you think the odds are these guys were drunk?
You think?
But they're all Rams fans. That's what's hilarious. Like,
there's one Charger fan in there. I see one Charger fan.
They have fans. Like, that's the bigger news story to me.
They haven't migrated yet from San Diego.
They're all still in San Diego going, we're going to get our team back, guys.
Oh, my God.
We're stuck in traffic.
We're going to keep Qualcomm.
His bum.
We're going to keep Qualcomm the way they left it so they can come back and play. That fucking decrepit ass.
It's just, I mean, it's just boys being boys, pretty much. Macho assholes.
They're trying to assert themselves, dude. You know how the passion they got to put into these first couple of weeks of preseason, especially guys that are on the bubble. They're gonna do some shit. They're gonna do shit that they probably would never do under normal circumstances just to try to get on the team or make the first cut. You know?
Money was all over the news. Yes, we saw.
That's just the way it works. It was like that guy that hit the other guy. He didn't do it on purpose, but yet he got cut because he hit another player.
Yeah.
It happens, man. It's part of if you don't think that shit's gonna happen in football, then you're watching the wrong sport.
Yeah. I mean, preseason and the fight for roster spots. I mean, they're just it's
dog eat dog.
Exactly. Pretty much. Okay. Exactly it, Elliot. Yes. Dog eat dog.
Survival of the fittest.
Survival of the fittest. And when they finally get down to the 53-man roster, that 54th guy is going to be probably worse for him.
Let's bring it back to
the other cuts.
Let's bring it back to the center, back to basics. Okay, it's a freaking war.
Yeah,
It's a battlefield with a bunch of gladiators trying to make their way into the Coliseum.
And you're just hoping that you can stave off injury long enough to make the roster and then go from there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So, I mean, it is what it is. And it's been that way forever. I mean, this probably, nowadays they put more emphasis on it because you got so much media around and stuff
Right.
like that.
Right.
They put emphasis on the little bullshit that goes on.
Yeah.
That wouldn't have made it back in the day when we didn't have all this media around.
Right.
No, not
That
at
would have
all.
been insignificant. We wouldn't know nothing about it.
No,
But
because
media
of
is
the-
about
that's
sensationalism.
That's
Media
because,
is about social media is about sensationalism.
yes, and that's because the advent of the cell phone.
Yeah.
And video on
And
the
it's
cell
about
phone.
the camera phone.
Correct.
Not just
Yeah.
the cell phone came before the camera phone did.
Right. The camera phone.
The
You're right,
smartphone with
yeah.
the camera on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when the whole American project started. The whole global project started to slide. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah. I did
So-
watch the Browns and Jags last night. The key takeaways on that was that the Browns second string looked better than the Jaguars first string, first of all.
Mhm.
Trevor Lawrence made his debut, of course. That was the big news going into that.
Got sacked on his first
Got
snap.
sacked on his first snap.
Got that out of the way.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Is that his fault or the offensive line's fault?
Offensive line. It was the
Exactly.
it was the offensive line. He had one good 30-yard pass in which he had 20 minutes in the pocket to throw the ball.
And it's his first game?
It was his first game. Yeah.
Okay. Like I said, it doesn't matter
Yeah.
until week 3.
Yeah. And Brett's right. Tebow looked like shit because he had one target, no catches. And there was filming him at one point in time trying to block, and he just whiffed.
No, he's done, dude. He ain't gonna make it to camp.
He did not play any special teams, which is an indicator that he's not long for the squad, pretty much.
Yeah, no, he'll be gone after week 2 when they
Well,
make the serious cuts. When they start making serious cuts,
Yeah.
he'll be gone.
Yeah, Tebow wasn't even a factor at all for any.
It
It was an
PR move.
experiment, dude. It was an
All it
experiment.
was the
See
PR
ya.
move.
Yeah. Browns look good. The guy that got most of the playing time is that rookie kid from Notre Dame. Hang on a second. I can never pronounce his name correctly. Give me a second. Is this who I? Yeah.
Maybe he should be playing hockey.
Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah,
Okay, there we go.
or Joe AK, as they like to call him for short.
Joe.
Yes. He had the most tackles and about almost the most playing time on defense for him to catch up because he had missed like a week of training camp because of COVID. So he was isolated. So, oh my gosh. Ladies and gentlemen, Cheryl Kennedy Holler's in the house. This is a lady I know from way back in my time in Rocky Horror 30 years ago. Hi, Cheryl. Good to see you.
Oh, Cheryl.
She's looking for suggestions on a backup quarterback for her fantasy football team, Elliot.
Well, who does she have now? And well,
Who
who's
do you have
available?
as your number one, Cheryl? Who do
Who's
you want as
available?
your number one?
Who's available?
Yeah, you got to
that's the other
tell me
question.
who's available. What's going on with that?
If she calls me on draft night, I could tell her. Yeah.
Is it a 2 QB league or is it?
Yeah.
Cheryl, it's good to see you, dear. Good to see you.
Or is it Superflex?
Super
Yeah.
flex.
I don't know.
Brady.
she's looking-
Yeah.
She says she's
Yeah.
looking for a backup. She says she's looking
Team
for a
Brady.
backup.
Let's
Brady's
go for it.
her number one.
Brady's her number one. Yes.
Okay, so Brady
Look,
probably went somewhere in the 5th, maybe 6th round, perhaps. Where'd she draft him?
Where did you draft him, Cheryl?
What round?
What round? Yeah. Come on. There's
A little
a
early to
delay,
have
so there'll be a
one.
delay to response. Yes.
A little early to have a fantasy draft, isn't it?
I would say yes.
Dude, there's people that have fantasy drafts like in June.
Yeah, like the week after the Super Bowl, they're already doing pre-draft.
I like to have
Those are-
my
those are
fantasy
keeper
drafts
leagues, though.
the Sunday before the Thursday.
Oh, it's a
Opening.
keeper league, so she doesn't
Yeah,
remember.
I'll
So
say
she
it's a
carried him
keeper
over
league.
from last year. She had him
She
last
carried
season.
him over. What round did she get him in last year? Because that determines in a keeper league, that determines everything.
You know, I've never played in a keeper league.
Me either.
Either.
The value, yeah. In a keeper league, the value is who do I keep that is in a position that I probably wouldn't get if they were out there in the open market.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
And that's what it comes down to. There's certain factors you got to take into consideration when it comes to keepers.
So let's shoot and poop here. Is Trubisky someone that you might want to stash? Because right now he's a backup this year. Chances are next year he'll be a starter. Would you take
Starter
the
for
risk?
who?
Wow.
Whatever team, like.
You see, but that's just it. Who's to say? Because he's probably not going to get a lot of playing time this year.
No, I wouldn't pick him this year.
How,
I mean,
how is any other team going to be able to gauge?
She's looking for someone to back up Brady in case of one, he gets hurt, and number two, for his bye week.
And I don't think Mitchell Trubisky is fantasy material.
No, he's not.
He wasn't when he was starting quarterback.
No.
Yeah, but see, I think that's situational too. I mean, I think you put a guy like him, and obviously I'm playing the homer here now. But you put him around like
because before you got him, you couldn't stand Mr. Trubisky. Okay?
Oh, I didn't care. It's just Chicago fan.
Cheryl,
oh no, yeah, he loves the Trubisky name. Yeah, okay.
Let me make a suggestion now. I'm a hack when it comes to fantasy football. Elliot will verify that.
So she got him in the third round.
Yes.
She got him in the third round.
Mm-hmm.
Last year.
Yeah, she got him in the third round last year.
Let's see.
I think he'll. You know what? I don't think this year he'll go that high, but it depends. Does she like Brady? Is it?
Oh, she loves Brady.
Again, you got to take your emotions out of it. Sometimes you got to take your emotions.
She's a Bears fan, so I was
at number
three. Fields.
Look at number 3. You got to look at it this way. Look at Brady. He didn't have a great fantasy season last year.
No, he didn't. No.
Okay.
He doesn't 44. He may not have a great.
He doesn't produce fantasy numbers anymore.
Tom Brady is not a great
he
fantasy
never really
quarterback.
did.
He never has.
Okay. No, because the running backs and other, other means of offense took care of that.
Yeah.
Cheryl, if I can make a suggestion, if he's available, I think I'd go for Matthew Stafford.
Matthew Stafford is a good mid-round pick, like 6, 7, maybe 8 at the latest if he's there.
Wait, hold on, time out. Cheryl, what happened to your love for the Bears? Come on. What happened to your love for the Bears?
Now, if you want to stash somebody, go get Justin Fields.
That's what I'm talking about. I was going to suggest that.
Because chances are Andy Dalton is either not going to start the season or he's not going to be long.
Well, after the way Justin Fields played yesterday, I would say he's not long for the starter's job.
It might be the situation with Trey Lance in It might be the same situation with Trey Lance in San Francisco.
She lost her love for the Bears long ago. Okay, all right.
So here's the key. You know what? Here's the key. These days, you got to go after quarterbacks that have legs.
Yes.
Those are the first ones you need to snap up off the board. The ones that are going to produce with their legs.
Yes. Justin Fields, Josh
Jackson,
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes.
Josh and Patrick will be like the first and second quarterbacks taken.
Yes.
Yeah, that's where they're going in most ADPs right now. First and second quarterbacks. But yeah, I mean, you got Lance, you got Justin Fields, you got Jalen Hurts, you got all kinds of quarterbacks out there.
Mobile quarterback. Go for a mobile quarterback, Cheryl. Brady's not a mobile quarterback, which is why he doesn't put up a lot of
Justin Herbert is a mobile quarterback.
Yeah, that's what Brett said. Herbert's a good
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson.
Daniel Jones is actually a mobile quarterback too.
Yeah, when he doesn't trip over his damn own
when
damn
he doesn't
feet.
trip over the 20-yard line. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
But that's where people and you see most of the time now in drafts, they're not drafting pocket quarterbacks anymore. They're drafting quarterbacks that can run.
Yeah.
And when you got a quarterback that can run and throw, that's the perfect quarterback. Because you're going to get your points through the air, you're going to get your points for throwing touchdowns, you're going to get your points on the ground and running touchdowns.
Exactly.
Just see the smile.
You need the multifaceted. You need the multifaceted running,
Yeah.
That's all it comes down to.
Yes.
Quarterbacks, it's deep as far as the amount of quarterbacks that you can probably get in fantasy that will provide you some value, but ain't nothing more valuable than those ones that can run and throw.
All right, Brett, now you're just being stupid.
What do you say?
He said, I'm a draft Taysom Hill. Not. That's what he's being sarcastic.
Hey, be my guest, yo.
Yeah, he's being sarcastic.
No, somebody will.
He's saying something he's
why
not
don't you
gonna
back
do.
him? Hey, why don't you back him up with Jameis Winston while you're at
There
it?
you go. Cheryl, you're welcome as always. It's good to see you. I hope you're doing well. And
good luck on your choice.
And say hello to the kids for me. Glad to see Zach's doing well. Our sons were born a month apart.
Huh.
Are
Are you their Uncle Nerd?
No. It's a long story. I love her to death. She's good people. She really is. All right, Cheryl, good luck. Stay in touch.
Adios.
Keep watching.
Keep watching. Subscribe to the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. There is a podcast, yes. All right. Well, that was great. That was a great segue, guys. I like that going off off topic like that, especially when it's Uncle Nerd. Thank you, Cheryl. Jesus, I love you, Cheryl. God, she's awesome. Anyway,
Next subject.
The Bills owners have quelled all rumors on the fact that there's going to be strictly public money for the new stadium. And John knew this weeks ago. He knew it was. John called it.
Shocker.
That's the only way they're gonna be able to keep the team.
And they always
money.
get ownership has said it was always going to be a combination of public and private money. It wasn't going to be all on the taxpayers. So
that's what they say now. That's what they say now at the 11th hour when Austin came into the picture.
No way in hell. Dude, they're like
Not a chance in hell of
not a chance in hell, man. That entire part of New York State.
And that's why it was
ground.
and that's why it was so anticlimactic.
It was
like the protein.
Buffalo, the Bills ain't going nowhere.
Bills
Come
ain't
on,
going
man. If anything, they'll go north of the border.
and I don't want them to go. And I'm from Toronto. I don't want them in Toronto. They did that experiment a couple of years ago when it sucked ass.
Yeah.
Because Canadians can't tailgate unless they go to Western New York.
Oh, okay, that's right. The tailgate situation.
Brett just posted.
Okay.
Didn't the owners come out and say that they would fork over money? Brett, that's what we just said.
That's what we just talked about.
Yeah. Pay attention, Brett.
You know what? Brett posts a lot of shit. I notice a lot of times he'll post a lot of shit that I posted like 3 hours earlier. You know what I'm saying? 4 hours earlier.
Oh, dude.
Brett, we love you, Brett. We're glad you're here every week.
Hey,
You gotta
Brett,
pay attention, brother.
Hey, Brett, read the feed. Don't fucking attack it, yo.
I wonder if Nosey's still here. If Nosey's still here, he'd attest to that. We used to play with this guy on Call of Duty, Chunky. He comes here every now and again to the show. And bro, we'd be sitting there discussing something. 10 minutes later, Chunky would bring it up. Like we just had this huge, long discussion about it. And Chunky's like, oh, we should try this. It's just like, oh, really? Thank you. Oh, well, there. Nosey.
He's there. Nosey's there. He's still here.
Dude is just like, just 20 minutes late to the party all the time. And he'll say something like, sorry, guys, I was smoking or I was high.
Well, at least he has a good reason.
Well, it's questionable, though, with him.
So when in doubt, wait for the owners to come out and get it from the horse's mouth. Ownership is not gonna force or blackmail or try to get, force
ownership sitting back like, y'all go ahead and have fun on social media while we bust out the real deal.
Correct. Correct.
We know what the hell's going on.
Yes.
All y'all media folks don't know shit.
It was exciting.
Oh, of course not.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, that was just like Elliot said, very anticlimactic. I knew it was just the stupidest piece of news I ever heard. So.
Look, Johnny Manziel would be a Super Bowl quarterback and a Hall of Famer before that happens.
Ownership loves Orchard Park. They want to stay in Orchard Park, and that's how it's gonna be.
Well, then that's why they needed to make it happen, and I'm sure that was their plan all along.
And that's a cost thing too, right?
Yes.
Because they'll buy some of the land because it's a big, huge field. So they'll take one of those parking lots. That's where they'll start building it. they don't need to go anywhere because they'll just play at New Era or whatever the High Marks or whatever the hell they call it now, the Ralph forever. They'll just play there until the new stadium is ready. So that's why they want to stay in Orchard Park, because it's cheaper. I think they should have a dome downtown Buffalo. That's what I think. But
does the dome does the dome not take away from the ambiance of Buffalo during playoff time?
I've been to so many Bills games, and let me tell you, I hate the weather. It sucks. It's shit. It's crap. It's like
that's what happens when you live up in the Northeast.
The Cleveland fan base want a dome as well. I mean, but even though the stadium is only 20 years old, they want a new stadium and they want it to be a dome as well. But
it'll never happen. You know, they want that lake effect.
I've been to the old Muni where the wind comes off the lake and it's freezing and it's cold and it's it's terrible. But
I thought MetLife Stadium should have got a dome in New York.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Of all places, you would think.
Well, and also, the thing with the dome, guys, is it puts you in line for a Super Bowl in your city as well. Yes, that's the thing about the domes.
Yeah, okay. I don't see the NFL even.
Let's see, how does that work for us?
Well, I mean, what they do in 2014, they played in New York with no dome, right?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Mother Nature played nice that day.
Yeah, it was mild. It wasn't really cold that night. Yeah,
it was like 40 degrees or something.
Yeah.
Come to Buffalo. Come to the Walden Galleria, North Tonawanda. Like, what are you going to do in Buffalo?
That's true too. That's true too. The base. I mean, the whatchamacallit, the what do they call that? The market.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Might not be big enough to host a Super Bowl.
Well, if the borders were open and stuff, they could probably tap into the Southern Ontario market.
Oh, I'm sure they
obviously
could.
Toronto's a massive market,
could.
Right? But who knows with the border? I mean, I guess we can come over. I think I don't know yet.
Down the road?
Sometime. Not yet. So.
Couple of weeks.
Oh well, whatever.
But yeah, that's the draw. That's why Minneapolis got a Super Bowl. That's why Detroit got a Super Bowl. Why Indianapolis?
Oh yeah,
Minnesota,
Detroit,
Arlington got a Super Bowl.
What's that?
Arlington got a Super Bowl.
Arlington's not far enough north. I mean, it's still not too cold.
We felt like the north that weekend.
Yeah.
Freak storm.
That's true too. But again, that's why these teams. That's why these fan bases and teams want to consider having a dome in cold weather so they can get the potential of being in line.
Chicago's another place.
Green Bay will never destroy Lambeau Field. It'll be there forever, so they'll never get a Super Bowl in Green Bay. Not that you want one.
I don't think the fans will go. I don't think the fans will go for it anyway because them motherfuckers are so crazy. They go out there shirtless all the time.
Exactly.
True.
Fuck all that.
but that's the draw of the dome is that. And
I'm sorry if that's what you base a true fan on, that they were out in 0 degree weather with their shirts off.
No.
Man.
Oh, we base them on ketchup and mustard and throwing people through tables. That's what we mean.
On fire tables on fire.
Tables on fire. Dude. Body slam through a table on fire. Yeah, there you go. With some barbed wire.
That's a very small minority of Bill's Mafia. Okay. Oh shoot, Elliot, you'll appreciate this. Hold on.
Oh boy.
What the hell did I do?
Just about to find out.
I got my new Bill's Mafia shirt.
Oh, okay. Oh, I saw you posted a picture of it.
Yeah.
A Tribe Called Mafia. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
It's a Tribe Called Quest, basically.
Tribe Called Quest, right?
Well, didn't I tell you that the little red guy sitting down, that's what's his name?
Cole Beasley.
Cole Beasley?
Yeah, it's Cole Beasley.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the comment I put in the section there.
Right. Okay. Damn, that was anticlimactic.
The little red guy on the ground having a fit because he won't take a shot.
Yeah.
So that's good for Buffalo because it was always going to be that way. I mean, they weren't never
like I said, man.
They weren't going to hold the city hostage.
Come on,
wasn't going to happen.
You got a better chance to get hit by lightning, dude.
Correct. We already talked about Cowherd comparing Wilson to Manziel, so we'll pass up on that.
Well, Cowherd's just a jackass, dude.
Yeah, Ken gave. I don't know if I can get this copied into this chat or not, but I'm going to try, Ken, like you gave it to me. Ken posted a little poem in the Facebook group.
A haiku?
Yes.
No, it's a poem I wrote about 10, 12 years ago.
Yeah, I won't. I gotta save the picture. Hang on, Ken. Give me just a minute.
Okay.
Well, maybe I won't Saved it
I
down.
wrote this about 10 years ago or so, whenever he came into the league, and
Really?
I guess his rookie year. And
If it's in my downloads.
came up on my timeline review this week.
Yes. All right. Let's see if I can post this. I'm going to post this to the Facebook chat. Am I allowed to do it? Let me? Maybe not. Maybe I won't be able to because there's no option to upload a.
Oh, while we're on Colin Cowherd,
Yeah.
did anybody see the great takedown of Skip Bayless by a female on TV?
It was going
Yes,
wide.
I did. Yes, I did, Elliot. His one with the lady that
Jenny,
actually hosts
Jenny
the show.
Taft.
Yes.
Jimmy Taft, yeah.
I saw the video. Yes.
Love it.
Oh my God.
Ken, it won't let me post the picture. I'm sorry.
That's the one thing that
I'll just sing
every
it.
single hater of Skip Bayless wishes they had an opportunity to do.
I mean, the ultimate misogynist
And the
Okay.
look on Shannon Sharp's
Mm.
face when
Was
she
priceless.
went off on him
was
was
priceless.
priceless.
Yes, it was priceless. Yes.
Skip
Yes.
got put in his place by a woman, you know.
That's
That's
great.
all I got to say. That
Yep.
was a very, very momentous occasion.
Sorry, Ken, it won't let me post the picture. I'm sorry.
I'll just sing it then.
No.
Johnny comes stumbling-
Go ahead.
When Johnny comes stumbling home again, hurrah, hurrah.
What?
You'll be stinking
sounds like
drunk
Stalag
again,
17.
Hurrah,
Let
hurrah.
him finish.
You ever
He
seen
crashed the
Stalag 17?
party just for laughs and sells 100 autographs. We'll all feel whipped when Johnny comes stumbling home.
And that song was in Stalag 17. You ever
Yes,
seen
it
that?
was. Yes, it was back in the day. Ken was still alive at that time, too.
Black and white, yo. Black and
Um,
white.
NFL announces unlimited players can now return from the IR this season.
And what the hell does that mean?
Means anybody who goes in because of COVID, is still under COVID protocols. Anybody going off injured reserve are allowed to come back within like 3 weeks at the earliest. Whereas before it was at least 6 to 8 weeks on IR before they can come back, or some were put on IR and done for the season. Okay. So basically what it does is it allows them to go to IR and under COVID protocols, which you have to
Which
quarantine for 14 days.
okay, so which in a nutshell, just to make a point here, that means that having, let's say, 5 IR spots on a fantasy roster is probably a good idea, because if they're going to just be stashing players on IR for short periods of time,
Yeah.
and they're high profile players, you're going to want to stash those guys.
Yeah.
Let's say it'd be a prudent idea.
Yeah, I think it'd be a great idea. And with a short bench, that makes it even better.
Right.
Yep.
2 rules that are drawing criticism. The first is the new taunting rule.
So dumb.
They are going to strictly enforce the taunting rule this season.
Dude, I thought that was classic when Winfield taunted what's his name? Tyreek Hill. After
Mhm.
the peace sign.
Yeah.
After Tyreek Hill went off that one game in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Earlier, and he basically,
Yeah.
come on, man. That was perfect payback. And
Yeah.
that is the catalyst for the whole.
Yeah. I don't agree with the rule at all. Not at all. I
Not
can't stand
at
it.
all, dude.
Yeah.
Emotions are a part of the game.
Yes.
That you should see what they just called in the Colts game. It's trending
I saw
on
that
Twitter
video.
right now. Yeah.
It was a minor infraction. Minor.
Throw flags, dude. That's fine. Just throw flags. But to eliminate it altogether, the emotion of the game?
We're back to the
Are you
no fun.
serious?
It's the no
Yeah,
fun.
the no fun league again. Like when the band celebrations in the end zone.
Yeah. You got that.
Well, they'll
You're gonna
probably
post that
start
video to the
doing
chat,
that again.
John?
What video?
Did you say you were gonna post that video to the chat? I don't know.
I never said anything.
Okay.
Now, which was the other rule?
What's the other rule?
The other one is no blocking below the waist.
Oh, yes.
In what circumstance? In what situation? When you're blocking up front, when you're blocking downfield.
Give you a perfect example. Safety or corner comes up and the offense is doing a
A sweep.
a sweep,
Mhm.
and the offensive guard pulls. The
He
safety
can't
in
go below the
corner
waist.
cannot go low below the waist. Now,
In other words, he can't dive to the ground to roll into the guy
Right.
and take him out, basically.
You get your sacrificial lambs in the past where they would take offensive lineman out so the guys behind him can get the runner, basically. Okay. They're doing away with that. Okay. Now I can understand below the knees because that's potential injury. But just below the waist, if you're
below
into the
thigh,
waist, yeah. Totally below. Actually, no blocking below the waist, period.
calling the penalty when an offensive player lowers their head and gets helmet to helmet is worse than that.
Yes.
Okay. But yet they call it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're always going to call it on a defensive player, though.
They won't call it on the
Always
offensive
calling
player.
it on the defensive player.
Yeah,
Right.
They won't call it
So
on offense.
all an offensive player has to do if they're willing to risk the concussion is put their head down.
Yeah.
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 You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, I mean that's another stupid rule because what's going to happen is it's going to force the corners and safeties coming up to stop that run to stay vertical as opposed to going down, and they're going to get blown up by these offensive linemen because the offensive linemen weigh them by 100 pounds. They're going to get blown up by the offensive linemen. You know, it's just
Dude, the offensive linemen are much taller, so they don't really need to go down below the waist.
No.
You know,
yeah, I understand that.
It's like a fullback or a wide receiver that would be more likely to do something like that
Right.
than an offensive lineman.
Right. But these quarterbacks and safeties have been doing this for years. You know what I'm saying? That's the technique they've been taught for years. If you're coming up against an offensive lineman is pulling and you got the running back coming, you gotta get the offensive lineman out of the play by going below the waist and above the knees. And when them down, so the guys behind you can take out the running back.
And when I was growing up, I learned real math, not the shit they got today.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shit changes. And
There
you
could
got to
be some
change with
rushing
it.
records that are in danger this year.
You got to change with it or you get left behind.
I don't agree with it. It's a stupid rule.
It is.
It's a stupid rule.
Anytime you start making rules or tweaking rules that bite into the fundamentals of the game.
Yeah.
Especially from an emotional standpoint. Come on, man. Are you serious?
Yeah. John has a puzzled look in his face.
So
okay,
basically what you're telling me, if a guy accidentally trips over his own feet and lands at the legs of a cornerback, that's going to be
or an offensive lineman, whatever.
That's going to be a penalty?
I think so. If my understanding of where the rules go.
Wow.
I mean, the NFL is doing everything they possibly can to
the non-fundamental league, yo. The non-fundamental league.
Right. Not only that, but to guarantee offensive explosion and the defense being handcuffed. That's the way it's been for years.
You're going to have some rushing records that are going to be in danger this year because you're going to be free to rush. I mean, run the ball all over the place.
Right.
What it's going to force cornerbacks to do is to go low on blockers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they got to stay upright.
That's right.
You see, so now you're putting blockers and in danger.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because they got to stay upright.
Yep.
Right.
They can't squat and fall into their legs or anything. So that gives the defensive player a chance to go after them below the waist.
Right.
Which can blow up a play easily.
Yep.
So again, the rules, no rule is ever going to be 100% palatable to everyone.
Right.
But when you change something that's not broken, when you try to fix something that's not broken, you wind up breaking in something else in the process.
Agreed.
I have to
and that is
something.
my opinion only.
I watched the bits and pieces of a CFL game last night.
Mm-hmm.
And they have one rule that I wish they would adopt in both the NFL and the NCAA.
The third down rule?
No. The pass interference rule.
Okay.
Which is
the maximum yardage you can have on a deep pass interference penalty is 25 yards.
Yeah, you don't want to. I don't like.
Oh, you don't like spot foul? on pass
Oh,
interference?
it is spot foul all the way to 25 yards.
No, I'm
That's
saying
that's
you
the
don't like
maximum
spot
yards you
foul
can get.
beyond that. You don't like
Yeah.
spot foul beyond that.
Right. But it's going the maximum yardage you can have on a pass interference penalty is 25 yards.
And what,
Well, CFL is a throwing
they'll
league.
tell you is, that's kind of like starting overtime, each team on the 25-yard line. That's a college thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's basically what the rebut to that would be.
Well, college is 15. That's the max. It's 15 yards
Yeah.
for pass
Right.
interference.
I understand.
I
Again,
would go
this
25.
is the
as
NFL. They don't. The NFL doesn't project superiority, okay, because they don't have a shield for their emblem.
Right.
Okay, they have a shield. Nobody else in the major sports has a freaking shield as their
NHL,
fucking
though.
logo.
NHL.
Okay.
Yeah. NHL.
Is that a shield?
Yes.
kind of, sort of?
Kind of, sort of. So not for sure. But I'm talking about, they always talking about protect the shield. It's all about the shield. You know what I'm saying? And that's
I
just
take that back. It is a shield.
It is.
It is a shield.
Okay.
Always has been.
Well,
Yeah.
bravo to the NHL.
So, but I mean,
They're always gonna, you know what? They're always gonna circle their wagons around the shield. Dude.
yeah.
Of course.
That's all it comes down to.
You see what Brett posted, John?
Yeah, of course.
What? What
It'd
now?
be great.
As
It'd
we-
be great
as-
if they
as-
actually make the postseason. Though,
As we
but-
migrate over to baseball, because that was my last NFL
Who?
topic.
What did he say about postseason?
Jays are the first team to have 5 players with 20 home runs and 70 RBIs this season. No other team has more than 2.
But they're still what, 4th place in the division?
Yeah, it's
Going on.
and
man.
like
Was that
Elliot's been
Toronto?
saying for a month. I mean, that's the AL East is always freaking stacked.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
never 1 or 2 teams and the rest is crap. It's usually one team is crap and the rest are always competing. And
That's
It's-
Baltimore.
yeah, Baltimore this year, right? It's usually Baltimore that's the crap.
Well, Baltimore had success in the early 2010s in that division. They won it a couple of times. They made a couple of playoff appearances, but
Yeah, and for
Most-
some strange reason in hell, Tampa Bay always competes. I don't know how they do with the 5 fans that go to the game, but I mean,
you're not lying.
it's such an eyesore.
Oh, and 3 of them have cowbells, by the way.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I couldn't stand going to that stadium with them fucking people and that goddamn cowbells, man.
Last time I went
Two in
to
the one.
a Rays game was probably early 2000s, like 2002, 2003, something like that.
It looks like a fucking barn, dude.
Yeah, it is a barn. It is a barn.
No wonder they got
Warehouse.
cowbells and shit.
Yeah. It is a barn.
Round warehouse.
With some fucking deadly stingrays in the fucking outfield.
Mhm.
The biggest story in baseball over the week was the Field of Dreams game between the Yankees and the White Sox. That they opened that game perfectly. First,
Oh,
you got
yeah.
Costner coming
That
out.
was
of the corn.
majestic.
Yeah.
Yes.
First, you got Costner by himself coming out of the corn, walking up, taking his time, getting there. He stops, turns around over his shoulder, and here come all the players coming out
All
of the
the
corn.
players.
The
It was
production team,
beautiful.
the production team deserves whatever award is out there for what they did to set up the whole thing.
Yes.
Yep.
And regardless of the fact that the Yankees lost, in my book,
In walk-off
Okay.
fashion, no less.
I'm just saying they couldn't have written that in a script
I know.
No.
for that
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, it was a
Okay.
great game. And the
Two
White,
2-run homers in the top of the 9th
Yep.
off their closer,
Yeah, I think so.
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
And then, of course, the problem is right now is that the Yankees are in flux when it comes to their closing spot
Yep.
because they
Yep.
don't have Chapman.
Right.
Britton, see, and this is why I say Boone needs to be fired. Because Britton told him after he blew the Field of Dreams game, Britton told him, don't put me in the closer role anymore.
Right.
Okay. And what did he do? He put him in the closer role again last night and wound up having to take him out, which basically takes his confidence level down a few more notches.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay. So to me, those are the kinds of things that warrant Aaron Boone be fired. because his own player told him he wasn't comfortable
Right.
and he ignored him.
Yeah.
If I was Britain, I'd be making a total fucking case about that. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, but you know what? I'll put this loss on the manager. I told him not to put me in as a closer.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
I actually watched that movie last night or night before, one of the two.
Mhm.
That's actually the first game, the only game this year that I've watched from opening pitch to walk-off homer.
Yeah. And I revisited the movie a couple nights ago, and just as good now as it was when it first came out. The ending always gets me. The ending always gets me. Dad, want to have a catch.
You want to have a catch.
Dad, do you want to have a catch? And the tears started coming down.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's
tearjerker.
It's gut wrenching and just so emotional.
Why is it gut wrenching?
You have to watch the movie to understand.
I've never watched it. I never will either. So you can spoil it. It's fine.
Basically, because the relationship that Costner had with his dad when he was growing up, his dad was an older guy when he was born. They never really connected. Costner's the character gave up on baseball at age like 10 or 14, and he ended up walking out and saying something mean, specifically about Shoeless Joe Jackson, how he can never respect him for a guy like whose hero was a criminal or a crook or something like that. Mm-hmm. And it was the last words he would ever say to his dad, because his dad died a few years later. So he's always had regrets about his relationship with his father.
It was a wholesome.
I can relate to that because of my relationship with my father. So it hits home to me too.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I never had a catch with my dad.
Basically,
I did.
later in life, Costner buys a farm with his wife, and he hears these voices saying, "If you build it, they will come. He will come."
If you build it, yeah.
So he builds a baseball field in the corn. Okay, uses up all his life savings to build this baseball field, and these ghosts come out of the corn from the past. Shoeless Joe Jackson and the White Sox of 1919 all come out of the corn and start practicing and playing. Ray Liotta plays Shoeless Joe Jackson, by the way.
Let me
go ahead, Ken.
Something right quick. Ray Liotta was on Colin Cowherd's show about 3 or 4 years ago. He admitted on the show that he has never watched that movie.
Really?
He has never watched it. I don't know if he's watched it since then, but as of 5 years ago, he said he had never watched it.
I'm sure you watched Goodfellas.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because the original field is a landmark, Brett, and they did not want to rough up that field. That's why it's a national. Right. It's considered almost like a national landmark.
Oh yeah,
so Major League Baseball
it's an historical monument now.
Yes, and also I don't know for sure. I think the measurements may be off as well.
They didn't have stands built there either. They would have had to put in lights and
Well, that's why it's already got lights. It's already got lights.
You start from scratch, and that's what they did.
Yeah. The Major League Baseball built the other field.
I don't know about apple pie hot dogs. I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready to venture that far out there to the field of
try it once just to say I had
it. It looks like a McDonald's apple pie that got a freaking hot dog stuck up its ass.
Yeah, yeah. And this all happens in Iowa, John. And basically, he makes a trip to Boston just to get this writer Terrence Mann. They go to Boston. They go to a Red Sox game and
then Darth Vader showed up.
And then Darth Vader showed up. Because James Earl Jones plays Terrence Mann. They go to Fenway Park for a baseball game. He hears another voice, and they come back, and then they start going back to Iowa, and they pick up another guy. You have to watch him to understand. Who was the actor, Ken, that played the kid? Not the kid, but the old man. God.
Burt Lancaster.
Oh,
Burt Lancaster, yes.
Oh, Burt Lancaster.
In one of his last roles ever.
Yes. May have been
plays an old doctor. He had one at bat, and actually no, he played in 1/2 inning of a game. Never got up to bat. Never made a play.
No, he had one swing and had a sacrifice fly. So he
John,
didn't get a map for it.
the movie is as American as hot dogs and apple pie.
It is. It's
mixed
just
together.
gut wrenching. It's if
It sounds like I'd prefer Major League. That's what it sounds like.
well, you've seen Major League, so you know what Major League.
Yeah,
Oh,
but that's just
hat
it.
for bat.
Different movie, because Major League was a comedy about a bunch of lovable losers. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
But it was hilarious.
This was
It
more
like-
of a historical piece.
yes. Talking
You know what I'm
about Shoeless
saying?
Joe Jackson in the 1919 White Sox.
Great for baseball purists and enthusiasts.
Yes, exactly. It's
Basically,
about
that's what
it's more
it's kinda
about
like
the
The
game
Natural.
itself.
It's kind of like The Natural, Paul Newman.
Yeah, it.
You know what I'm
No,
saying?
that was Robert Redford, but that's okay.
I mean, Robert Redford was cool.
Look at this useless
You know what?
trivia sports nerd has, right? Like, I know the actor.
Yeah.
He's my
There you
buddy.
You know, God, you know what line really gets me, and it gets me every time I watch that?
What's that?
When his dad's taking off his catching gear and Costner sees him without the mask and everything for the first time, he goes, "Oh my God, that's my father."
Yeah, yeah.
That one gets me every time.
At
too.
the end,
I
his
start
you know,
crying now.
yeah. At the end, there's the players are walking off, going back into the corn, and one player's left on the field. Ray Liotta walks over before he goes in the corner. He walks over to Kevin Costner, and quotes the line, "If you build it, he will come." Looks off to his right, and there's Costner's dad taking off the catcher's mitt. And you know it's Costner's dad because they've got pictures of him throughout the movie. And then they have an emotional, an awkward discussion. I would call it, Ken.
Yes.
Where they don't really, where he doesn't really reveal who he is as far as Costner's concerned.
John,
But
you
it's-
look riveted.
You're sitting there on the edge of your seat going, "Come on," And it was just emotional and heartbreaking, and it's more about the beauty and the love of baseball.
Just remember, though, that Scott's the kind of guy that likes to talk about dead people.
I was like this is what I get. Ghosts and goblins and shit. Like, I'm good, man. I'm good.
At some point in your life, you have to watch it, John. You'll understand when you watch it. Okay.
Look, the movie was intended for actually young boys growing up and men that grew up as young boys and didn't have that experience with their dad in the baseball world. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It is not going to touch everybody unless your curiosity is piqued.
Gremlins.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not, again, it's a great movie, and it only got made greater by what the MLB pulled off this last
Oh, I heard it was fantastic. Like, I watched little clips on Twitter. It was cool. Like, I know the scene of the ghosts coming through the corn. So I get that. Like, it was cool how they did it. I don't think they should have done those aerial views, though, because you see all the players lining up outside the corn to go through the corn.
True.
It's like, it kind of took away from it.
My only wish is that the starting pitcher for the Yankees got lost in the corn. And they never found him again.
There was one shot they had of Lance Lynn about to go into his windup, and it was a side shot of him, and he's going into the set, and in the background you see nothing but corn.
Yeah, that
was the coolest shot I saw. Well, I take that back. And Harry Smith pointed this out at on the Today Show. There's another overhead shot. They had drones out there taking pictures, of overhead, and there was one where they've got the sunset coming in, and Harry Smith said it was a salmon sunset, salmon colored sunset.
Yeah.
In other words, it was
perfect. Perfect, yeah. It was a perfect.
I had a discussion with somebody today about the color salmon and pink.
Yeah.
And I'm like, see, but salmon is like one of those names for people that like hold their pinky in the air and shit like that. It's fucking pink, dude. It's a shade of pink.
The stands held about 8,800 people, Brett. So it wasn't a lot of. It wasn't a great big.
Under 8,000. It was like 7,800 and 6,800.
No, it was an success because they had people come in without tickets. They allowed people that came in for free to watch the game.
Yeah, because tickets for that thing are going like $400 a pop. If not
they're more than that. The last,
Yeah.
Well,
the last one I saw
1,800, dude, is what I heard.
940.
1,800.
940
1,800.
last I saw.
Yeah.
Okay,
Insane.
that's the last I heard.
Lord, not
1,800.
Yep. Insane.
Yes.
But you know what? It's a once in a lifetime experience. Who do you think the teams are going to be next year? I have a guess.
Well, I would think the White Sox would always be.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Well, Boston. Be
I
Boston.
would think the White Sox would have to be at least the only, because the movie's about the White Sox, for God's sake.
Yeah.
So I would always think that Chicago.
No,
would be
because
one of the
all
teams.
kinds of different players showed up. It wasn't just about the White Sox, was it?
Sometime we're gonna have the White Sox and the Reds because that's who played the 1919 series.
That'll be good. Yep.
I think they're going to have.
White Sox and Cubs.
I think at some point they'll keep the Chicago theme and they'll bring the Cubs in to play the Red Sox.
That'd be perfect.
Cubs and Red Sox. That's
Cubs
what
and White
I
Sox.
think. You know what I'm saying? Or Cubs and White Sox. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
The Battle of Chicago.
In his first start as a pitcher, in a rookie, Tyler Gilbert threw a no-hitter for the Arizona Diamondbacks last
Has
night.
anyone ever done that?
Not that I know of.
His
A
first
no-hitter
major
in their
league game.
first major league start.
Yeah, no, that was a first.
And
That's
you saw
amazing.
shots of his family in the stands. His dad was crying, going crazy.
Tyler Gilbert, congratulations. You are now immortal.
You have he's had his 15 minutes of fame. He'll go 0-10.
No. It ain't just
You are
15 minutes.
now a legend
He sits
in
in
the
a-
Valley of the Sun.
Hey, he sits on a list all by himself.
Yes.
That's right.
That's immortality. That's something that'll never go away.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They'll play that for years and years and years. Watch.
Who was it that pitched for the Indians in the 1940s that started his baseball career with 2 back-to-back no-hitters?
Feller?
No idea.
No?
Was it Heller?
Wasn't Feller.
Wooden Feller?
I think it was Cleveland.
I
It
don't
tell you
may
that,
not have been back-to-back, but
I wasn't alive in the 1940s, so I have no freaking idea.
Was I, but much of a history fan. I can find out.
You're the sports writer, Ken. You know all that history, so I mean, you can figure it out.
I'll find out.
Yeah. So Chris Sale returned to the Red Sox roster and threw eight strikeouts.
8 strikeouts.
Had a good game. Glad to see him back. I'm sure
Yeah.
Kenny is glad to see him back at
Yes,
least.
he is. Kenny is very glad to see him back.
So-
Needs a shave.
First time since 2019 he's been on the mound, so it's even. I mean, in a major league game anyway.
Okay, so now that you see here's how it works. A couple of teams will get on little mini win streaks, and a couple of teams will get on little mini losing streaks, and then they'll flip.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because like right now, the Red Sox won 3 in a row, Yankees won 2 in a row. Should have been 3 in a row, but and then the Blue Jays and the Rays have lost 2 and 3 as well. So
the Rays lost to the Twins.
this is what happens in that type of a situation.
Yeah.
If it
So we're back to
turns
within 10
it
and a half
turns
now?
upside down constantly.
It's dog eat dog.
And Toronto took a hit because Springer sprained his ankle.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
was like
How bad?
lights out, man.
How bad is he on the IL?
I don't think he is. No, not yet. But,
Okay, then it's day to day
I
probably.
think it's day to day. But he came out. He hit the wall going for a ball, and it came off the wall awkwardly on his ankle, and it sprained it real bad. So that's a blow to the Blue Jays right now.
The problem with the Blue Jays right now is that they're not faring well against certain.
Well, is it the pitching, John, that's hurting the Blue Jays right now? Do you think? Because they got the hitting. I mean, look what.
Well, yeah, but see, this is the funny thing. They like today they put up 8 runs against Seattle, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Like they didn't need 8 runs; they needed 4 to win because they won 8-3. But
Yeah.
like the other games, they'll put up nothing or they get 1 run.
Right.
It's like they
Unless they're
get
playing
these
Boston.
games where they're blowing teams out.
Unless
And
they're
then when
playing
they need-
Boston.
So it's the inconsistency is what's
it's
hurting them.
inconsistency, and it's like
on you, the Toronto Blue Sox.
yeah, right. Literally, that's what it feels like. I don't know, man. Dude, it's like everyone's like they made a push to get into the postseason, but this year is going to be tough. The saving grace is that this team is stupid young.
Yeah.
Like they're young as hell. Like I don't think they got a guy over 27 on that team.
They'll
Like,
be around for a while.
Right. So it's like we don't get
be.
a push this year. Whatever. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not worried. I'm just enjoying seeing these, the squad they've assembled, and then so.
I mean, they're exciting to watch. They really are.
Oh, they're fun as hell, man. It's great. And Springer was light. He won AL Player of the Week 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
I mean, he was lights out, man. But
He's
then
big time, dude. Springer is big time.
You see, Fernando Tatis came back off the IL today and hit 2 home runs in his first game back. Jesus.
Oh, and the COVID revolving door continues in the Yankees bullpen.
Oh gosh.
They just lost another guy. They lost Jordan Montgomery. They just lost a new guy they just got. I don't remember his name. Yeah, man, it's like now they got Rizzo, I guess, coming back, and Gallo's starting to make some contact with the baseball finally.
Finally.
And
that division's going to go down to the wire, guys.
I got a question because Ken probably knows Gallo better than I would. Does Gallo suffer from like Tourette's?
Not that I know of.
Because he does a lot of twitching and tweaking.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying?
I don't know that it's Tourette's. It's kind of like ticked type thing. It's I don't know.
Remember the basketball
I've noticed
player?
that before.
Remember the basketball player that used to have Tourette's?
Yeah.
That has Tourette's. His name was Chris Jackson.
Chris Jackson, yeah.
And then he changed his name.
Yeah. Mahmoud,
yeah.
Rauf. Mahmoud Rauf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, because like I said, he does so many gyrations and twisting his back, and even in the dugout, you'll see him tweaking and twitching, and his face is all,
I don't know what exactly it is. He did that here with the Rangers, and
he might have Tourette's for all you know.
I guess it's possible, but they've never come out and said that specifically. So
yeah, no,
I don't know.
Maybe he's just lived with it all his life, and nobody's.
I think so.
You know what I'm saying?
He did when he was playing Little League Baseball in Las Vegas. He was on a team with Chris Bryant and who moved to the Phillies from the Nationals a couple of years ago. The other big one from Las Vegas.
No idea who you're talking. I mean, is it Harper? No,
Harper. Bryce Harper.
Is it Bryce Harper?
He was on a team with Bryce Harper, Chris Bryant, and Joey Gallo. Now, how in the hell did they not make the Little League World Series?
Who made it, and who won?
I don't know. It wasn't them.
Brett brings up the subject of Trevor Bauer, which is
don't even address it. Don't even address it.
Yeah.
Don't give that clown any airtime at all. Don't give him any airtime.
Trevor Bauer is a low life.
Don't give him any press and publicity.
Yeah, don't give him no shine whatsoever, dude.
Nothing.
Shade. Not much
shame. Shame. Shame.
Dude needs to be inside a jail cell. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Thanks, Brett. Thanks for upsetting the panel.
Yeah, right. Moving on, NHL. Robert Yager is still playing at age 49 years old. But there's a reason. Give me a second.
I thought we were going to talk. Nosy wanted to talk smack, but let's talk NHL because it's the middle of summer, so let's talk hockey.
Well, there's a couple hockey things out there. I mean, he says he has no choice.
Austin Matthews.
He's having to play to pick his team because his team's about to go broke.
He owns the team, first of all.
Yeah.
Okay. And he says he has a responsibility to the team to continue playing.
Yeah.
Yager's a beast.
He is.
I have a responsibility to the club. Otherwise, I wouldn't fly here and I wouldn't be making a fool of myself. But if I quit, the partners and sponsors would leave and the club may be done. That's why he's still playing.
beast. Good for him.
He's noble. It's a very noble gesture.
I mean, this guy played in the 80s, guys.
Yeah.
The mid 80s.
Yes.
Like
It
87, I think was
Yeah,
his first.
he was known as he was known just by one name, or basically one name, the mullet. That's basically
Was that 4 decades now that he's playing?
Yes.
49 years old.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's still Gordie Howe played into his 50s.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
True.
So
he's got almost as much gray hair as Elliott does, for goodness sake. I mean,
oh, dude, he's got some salt and pepper in the beard for sure, man.
Yes, absolutely, he does. Yes, and he's still got the mullet. He's still got the hair. But it's just he's between a rock and a hard place.
John swallowed a squirrel or some shit.
Bro, this is my kid's toy, but I'm seeing if Eliane is still here because this looks like an Axie from Axie Infinity. It's an esports game, guys. I know. We don't want to talk esports, but it's a billion dollar game. I know, it's okay. So I'm just seeing if she's still watching.
I've been exposed to as much esports as you have been to ESPN.
I hear you. There she is.
Or Field of Dreams, for that matter.
Yes.
Yeah, Field of Dreams, my favorite movie of all time. I don't want everyone. Oh, Bull Durham. I never watched that shit either.
John, tell us about Tony Esposito.
Well, I mean, he's Phil Esposito's brother. He was one of the greatest goaltenders in Chicago Blackhawks history. Tony and Phil, man. I mean, that's I grew
up with them boys.
I was just getting into hockey when they were kind of at the tail end of their career, so I never really got to experience them. But
dude, I watched them in the 70s. They were fucking
man. They were off the hook, man. I mean, Phil is one of the greatest players.
Phil was one of the founding one of the founders of the Lightning back in the day, back in '93. He also he's still a member of the Lightning. He's still on the board of the Lightning. I never got to see Tony play, so I don't know if he was as good as his brother was, because I know his brother was great.
Yeah,
he practically invented the butterfly stop. So it's he was one of the first great goaltenders I saw in the league, and that was in the late '60s, early to mid '70s, and so on. He was very, very active, and he was remarkable.
One of the last goalies to wear just the Michael Myers, not the Michael Myers,
right?
The Jason mask.
The plastic face mask,
the Jason mask. Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, happy Friday the 13th, by the way.
That was yesterday.
I know. Yeah.
Or Friday.
Oh, we had one of those. And it was weird. It was weird because the White Sox and Yankees were off that day. I was like, that's ironic. That's only that's the second time this year I see teams off on a Friday. Never before had.
Well, it's because they played in Iowa the night before, so that's
I'm trying to remember what the other game was this year, or were the other two teams this year that didn't play on a Friday. But that's the first two times regardless of the reason, I've seen it twice this year, but before that, I've never seen that happen before. Never. First time for everything.
So I'm assuming the Matthews issue is just a non-issue to you, John. Is that right? The Matthews surgery.
Well, how long is he going to be out? Is he going to miss?
He won't miss.
He's going to miss. He's probably going to miss training camp, is what they're saying.
But he'll be back for the start of the season.
Probably.
Yeah, and even if he's not, I mean, it's the NHL first.
I mean, if he had a torn Achilles and was going to be out for 18 months or something like that, that's different. He's got time to He's got time to work it out.
Yeah.
Is it a shooting? Don't worry about it. Supporting group that you had surgery on.
I have no idea. That's how much I care about hockey in the summer. It's it's so far out of my frame.
I put a meme out on that, waiting for hockey, and there's a goalie laying by the pool in full gear.
You're all about NFL and baseball.
Oh, I'm in total NFL mode, like total.
Yeah.
Speaking of NFL,
tick tick.
Can we start smack talking yet? Are we allowed to? Is this part of the schedule? I didn't even read.
Go for it, dude. It's only 8:20. Smack talk away. We got 10 minutes.
Yep. Go to it.
Apparently, this fantasy shit. I had quite the clutter mess trying to communicate with Elliot over the past week, but I think everything is sorted. I just need to but we've got a loudmouth in the audience right now trying to talk smack about this. Okay, this guy, first of all, he's a Lions fan. That should tell you everything you need to know. Okay. Second thing.
So success is not really a part of it.
Success is not part of his life, right? At all. Okay. This is working. You guys want fantasy football? Let's have fantasy. But we're going to smack talk this entire season. Okay. I gotta join the group too. I mean,
you know, that day when you messaged me,
I was like, oh my god, I
never heard back from you.
I was like, holy crap, he made this thing and said, bro, you make sure you pay, and then I pay, and then you're like, you shouldn't have paid. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna kill you. Oh my god.
I think what happened. Oh my god. No, wait a minute. In fairness to me, I think what happened was I posted it on the old Facebook page.
Right.
Not cognizant that you were not on that page.
I was just like, I was
but the fix was easy. All I had to do was adjust it up to 50. And now you just have to go in there and pay the other 20.
But I also got to get my kid. So I got to know how to do that for him because I don't think I can pay for him on that app.
You need to get him to let you log into his account so you can pay with your card.
Okay. All right. Cool. I'll do that this week. But yeah, back to the Lions
and as far as the other issue, that's something Matt might need to wrestle with because he can create a Facebook page that has nothing to do with him.
He's so like I told him that the other day. I was like, why aren't you on Facebook? No one goes on Facebook.
What?
Sorry, Mr.
No, but it's just for the league. It's just for the purpose of hanging out with the league. That's all.
I know.
He can name himself. What was it? I was thinking. No Soul Tam.
Yeah.
Matt Olson in reverse.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah. He's going to Toronto with his buddies for the weekend now. So he's I'm trying to hook him up with all my friends.
But here's the thing with that is that as long as you're on the page, you can always get back to him for whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
He just won't be around for the smack talk.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Matt, Nosy, let me explain something to you, okay? Guys like you are the type of people I feed off of in fantasy football, okay? You are the kind of guys that will go first round quarterback
right
in a PPR league and be like, oh, he's the best quarterback. Like, that's the kind of players when you told me you were joining this league, like I did little happy dances in my pants. Like it was just like I was so excited.
Hey, him and his buddies did a happy dance.
So excited. So you can say you're going to kick my butt.
So wait a second.
Let me just remind you, me and Elliot are freaking fantasy legends. Okay.
Yes, that's true.
What you're coming into is just you're going to get owned.
You're coming into the Lions den, dude. And
you're going to get eaten and
no pun intended. No pun intended. But you're going.
Yeah. You're the Lions den. Yeah. No pun intended at all.
Let me give you an analogy. A Lions fan talking smack is like bringing a sport to a butter knife fight.
Sport to a butter knife fight.
Sport, yeah.
A spork. I like it.
Yeah.
Sport to a butter knife fight.
So let me get this straight right here, right now on the air, because before this show began,
I was under the impression from what you told me last week you were not going to play.
Scott was adamant.
So I'm stupid. I don't know shit.
And during the show, I went ahead and deconstructed the Facebook page to take you and Matt out. So now I got to go back and put you in.
That's my fault, John. That's my fault.
Is it yes? You're playing?
It's me and my kid, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Then I got to go
Matt.
back.
So we got to call Matt.
I got to go back and search your team names and all that on the Facebook cover page.
Yeah.
Right.
Again, that's my fault, John. So you can blame me.
No, I was literally like crushing shit when I was reading those messages. I was like, oh my god, I was like.
So we're all good. Everything's fine. We're going to move.
Oh yeah, especially with this guy talking all this crap right now.
Hey, that page changed. Within 3 hours. Everybody was on the new page.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And again, even Jen Nieto signed up before you did.
Oh really? Is she playing?
No, she just likes to follow us.
She likes to watch the smack talk, John. That's what she likes to watch.
Yeah, there shall be smack talk. And that's one of the biggest beefs I have in some of the fantasy leagues I've been in, like my decade-long one that I've been. It's like the smack talk has totally gone away. I think if you're gonna have a fantasy league, you've got to talk crap.
You know what? I agree with you. I agree with you. And solely because over these last 2 weeks, I've been putting stuff out on the Facebook page and, trying to get a rise or a response out of whatever. And it seems like I'm in a fucking ghost town waiting for zombies to show up.
Let's get some shit. Well, as we get closer to the draft and get our teams together, then we can start doing some smack talk.
We'll start
here's the problem that I have now. Because I was under the impression that John was totally not for playing. Okay. I had a whole fantasy segment that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I didn't do it because Scott tells me, don't bring it up during the show.
Oh,
we'll do it next week.
I don't like the drama. We can do it next week. Ellie. I promise you. Okay.
No, because next week, once everybody pays up this week, next week I'll be revealing the draft order on the show.
Okay.
Beautiful.
And whoever wants to know the draft order and doesn't show up to the show, they need to go to the replay to find out.
Here's the fun thing. We'll start smack talking now. Brett's like, I'm going to require a few of you to actually make a trade this year. Brett, listen, okay, when you're trying to trade me an IDP player for Josh Allen, it ain't happening. It ain't happening.
For Josh Allen?
First of all, it's actually an unwritten rule, but it should be written all over the place. Okay, is you don't trade IDPs, you don't trade kickers. Okay, right. That's just not in the mix. Matter of fact, tight ends are so bad you don't even trade those
unless you got Travis, right?
I'm telling you, running backs, wide receivers, those need to go. How many we got on the bench? I'll take a Matt Stafford right now in later rounds, just to get me 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, and maybe a tight end in there somewhere.
See, you got guys like this don't understand. You don't give them too much information, Elliot, because these are the kind of guys that will pick the quarterback in the first and second round.
Oh, I know.
Let them do it.
And do it. Jamal's one of them. If Jamal gets a high pick, he's going to take Patrick Mahomes.
Let them take the Philly defense in the third round.
If Brett gets the first pick, he'll probably take a Chief. He might
Travis
take
Kelce.
He might take Kelce. He could take Hill.
Yeah.
He could take Tyreek Hill. That's another big, but I still don't believe in taking quarterbacks with the first pick or in the first round for that matter.
No.
Quarterback should be a third round and on.
Yeah, if Josh is there in the third round,
he's gone. John's gonna take it.
I gotta have me 2 players in the first 2 rounds that are gonna provide me with many receptions to bring up their PPR value.
There you go.
Okay. I can worry about a quarterback later.
And a running back as well.
There's plenty of quarterbacks out there.
There could be you can get one of those running backs that's good out of the backfield too in the second round. So did you see my meme the other day with the mid running backs, the mid quarterbacks and all that? I did, but I forget what it said. I'm sorry.
Well, they all had bold faced looks except for the mid round running backs who were all goofy and retarded looking. You know what I'm saying? What they're saying is that the talent in mid rounds for running back is a big slide. Kind of like tight ends. Yeah. You get past Waller, you get past Kelce, or Kels.
or Kels, whatever he's calling himself these days.
And Kittle, after that, there's a major drop. You know what I'm saying? So running backs and wide receivers is where you got to go. Quarterback, I'm very happy waiting until a 4th, 5th, 6th round to pick a quarterback. And in a super flex league, there's going to be a flex quarterback out there. What kills me is people that go out there and draft 2 quarterbacks in the first few rounds because they already anticipated that's what they're going to use in the super flex, which is why I put that poll out as far as the super flex or just standard 2 quarterback leagues. And most people chose the super flex. I was just trying to eliminate certain things, but hey, that's just the way that works. And that's why I put those polls out, by the way, so that I can get input from everybody without even them having to say a word.
Yeah. That's a good point, Elliot.
Tell me how you feel through your vote. And if you have
comments. I think I voted on one of them. I'm not sure about the rest of it.
You voted on both, I think.
Okay.
But just like the one where I asked about where would you prefer to draft, and
I don't care.
It doesn't matter.
The number one overall pick isn't much anything in fantasy. It really isn't. To be honest,
I don't really like the 5th, 6th, and 7th picks.
I would, in fact, I prefer to be at the end of the first round. That way, I get the last and the first. You know what I'm saying? Because we do the snake.
You'd rather be in 12 and 13, right?
Yes, exactly.
Right.
That way, I get players.
You get two. You can still get 2 decent fucking players at 12 and 13.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting.
Yep.
Like I said, I will reveal the draft order next week, which will give everyone 2 weeks before
to
the draft.
Study and get ready for the draft. Yes.
The draft will be 2 weeks from then. All that information is up.
Yep. All right.
I mean, I got everything all set up. I did send Matt his invite to the league. I don't know if he's signed in or not.
Which one? My Matt or
your Matt? Yeah. Yeah, Matty.
Yeah.
I did send him an invite again to get into the league. I haven't seen if he's made any movement on there yet. I know you logged in the other day.
Yeah, I have to log into his account. So
okay.
But he's a 20-year-old, so trying to get a hold of him is like,
Oh no, I get it.
Pulling teeth.
But like I said, just whenever you can. The payments need to be in by Friday.
And real quick at the end, not to change the subject, just wanted to mention that Luka Doncic signed a max deal with Dallas this week too.
Yes, he did.
So much for free agency.
Yeah, I know, right?
Right.
Never gonna happen.
Well, there was no way Dallas was going to let him go. Can I let him go?
Not a chance.
Anyway, I'd like to go ahead and welcome Maddie and John back on board with the 12-team league.
Right.
When I hadn't heard from you, I was like, "Oh,
but see, I'm
wrong?
not that good with the Facebook stuff, man. Like I get so much crap with like spam and like I basically shut Facebook off.
What's the better way to get a hold of you? See?
If you got a Discord,
that's the only common thread we have as far as social media.
Discord or Telegram, probably.
Yeah, Discord or Telegram. If you got a Discord account, get them on Discord.
Like I'm always on Telegram or Discord. Like all the time, it's open.
Well, maybe I'll get on there but I'm always gonna send most of the news onto the Facebook page. So if you're into the league like that, you'll check it.
Yep.
Oh yeah, no, I will.
Because I got a feeling Matt Wallace is gonna be on there talking major smack.
Oh, I can't wait. But
that's all the Lions fans can do is talk smack because they can't.
That doesn't need to be confusing. I mean, John's Matt can be Matt, and Matt Wallace, Lions fan, can be doormat.
I like it. See, welcome, Nosy.
Floor mat and doormat.
Welcome to the league.
Doormat.
Doormat. I love it. All right, we're gonna close up shop for this week. It's actually 8:33. That's okay. On behalf of my co-hosts, Mr. Ken Coslow, John G. Olson, and Elliot B.G. Lamba, thank you, everyone, for coming out, especially Cheryl from Port St. Lucie, from Vero Beach, Florida, excuse me.
He's come back, too.
We appreciate everybody that showed up tonight. We will be back next Sunday at 7 p.m. Same time, same bat channel, the whole 9 yards.
For the fantasy draft order reveal.
Yes, we'll have a fantasy show next week. Big heavy on fantasy sports next week. So we look forward to seeing everybody. I'm the sports nerd. We're out. Elliot, please play the outro.
Happy Statehood Day, Hawaii.
Right.
Well, there you have it, Nerd Nation. Another Sunday episode of the Sport Nerd Show in the books, and we're actually still live to tell about it. Now, on behalf of our hosts, got the Sports Nerd Right, John, Bob, and Ken, the 3 other lovable members of the Rat Pack, and yes, me, Big E. The entire pack would once again like to thank you all for participating with us in the best 90 minutes of sports smack talk on the web today. So until next Sunday night, dear nation, we want to leave you with a quick PSA. Please stay safe. Please practice social distancing. And for fuck's sake, please wear a fucking mask. You just got hit with a pack rant from the Rant Pack. And with that, fellas, we are